All right, hello, Bema. I am sorry to keep you waiting because I promised that I would send you some of the suggestions for reading. And these are the notes that I took, and unfortunately, I wrote it in my language, my native language. So you might find it a little, you might not understand. So I will just explain it to you. So I leave a note to myself, and I told myself that I have to be extra careful when I do the test. I am good at reading. I quite enjoy reading, but the reading that I got in the those Cambridge IS tests is not the one that I enjoy, because they are all about research and like some serious topic which I'm not even interested in. So yes, reading is quite tedious. So you have to be extra careful. You must not get distracted. You must not feel sleepy as well. You must have enough energy to focus on each and every word that is mentioned in the passage. So be extra careful and read that instruction. Sometimes your answers are correct, but because you didn't read the question and you didn't read the instruction carefully, you wrote the wrong answer. For example, is it true, false, not given, or is it yes, no, not given? If the question is saying yes, no, not given, you should write yes, no, not given. If the question say true, false, not given, then you should write down true, false, not given instead of yes, no, not given. So read that instruction carefully, and then um, so when it comes to fail in the blank, which is also completion tight, look at the numbers. Like this is what I told myself: numbering. Sometimes you got the answer and you write it down on on the notebook instead of on the answer sheet, like not notebook, in other places instead of where you should put your answer. Then you can like get confused, and the answer you put might how do I say that, like the numbers and the answers might not match. So especially when the completion type has a diagram. So how do I say that? Okay, I can write it down for you to make you understand more. Give me some minutes. So let's say this is the diagram, and we have the completion one, then two, three, four, five. Okay, look at it carefully. All right, this is a diagram, and you have to fill the answer looking at the diagram. So let's say this is one, and this is two, and this is three, this is four, this is five, and then you got the answer. Let's say this is A, B, C, D, E. So when you write it down, this is the answer: one, two, three, four, five, and your answers are A, B, C, D, E, right? So if you write A, B, C, D, E, that is wrong, because for question one it should be A, and for question two it should be E. For question three it should be B. For question four it should be C, and for question five it should be D. So fill in the blanks, especially fill in the blank is the same as completion type. And when you have the diagram, I heard that these days the Cambridge IS test as the diagram for the completion. So when you see the diagram, be careful of the numbering and the answer. So that's the second point that I would like to make. First is read the instruction carefully. Second is read the numbers carefully. And then this one is references. I think I have repeated it in writing tests. So you have to be careful of the word it, or this or they. So when you see these pronouns, you have to make sure that you know what is this referring to. What is this referring to exactly? You have to know that. Only then will you be able to pick the right answer. All right, this is references. I have repeated it in the writing test many times. And then this reading, what I said to myself, this is actually my native language, by the way. So what I said to myself is that I must not get distracted at all. Like I must focus, and I must be able to see each and every word carefully. I must see the grammar, I must see the sentence structure, I must see the reference. So I must not allow myself to get distracted. All right, so that is the point here. And then in the completion, the same as this one, fill in the blanks. So when you do the completion diet and the answer that you think is not included in the passage, then in that case, your answer might be wrong. So check it again. All right. Every answer you write in your answer sheet must come from the passage. So let's say that you dog dots. The answer is dots, is a plural noun, but in the passage is only dog. That in that case you have to pick this one. You have to pick this one, not this one, all right? Even though your understanding might be correct, you must choose the word from the passage. So that is the reading. Another one. So another okay, I so far I want to summarize this. The first thing is read the instruction carefully and make sure that the number and the answers are matching. Like you give the correct answer for question 1 and the correct answer for question 2, all right? And then be careful of the references. You must know what is it, this, they, that. You must know what they are referring to, what pronouns are referring to. And then you must not get distracted. And for the completion type, your answer, not only completion type, every answer must be from your passage, all right? And then another thing that I would like to share is that like usually when you do the reading, we do the skimming first, right? Just we do the skimming because we want to know what it is about, and then we read the question, and then we scan the passage to like look for the right paragraph that might has the answer, and then we try to read the question again, and then we try to pick at the answer. So before you do the skimming, I would like you to glance at the questions, like what sort of questions are there? Is there true, false, not given? Is there completion type? And what sort of questions are there? By doing so, as you skim the passage, you will know what words you should take note of, like what words you should circle. For example, let's say here the question has keywords like 90/20 and the name James. When you see these words in the questions, as you skim the passage, as soon as you see these words, you try to mark it. Like you see the 92 in the passage, you try to circle it. So that is how you take note, all right? I will repeat again. When you do the reading, please glance at the question, just a brief one, like just glance at it, and then skim, and then read the question, scan, and read the question again, and choose the correct answer. All right. So here, like I said, when you scan the passage, make some highlights on your way, and then read the question, keyword, and then the passage. And this one is the most important. I wrote it in my language. It is best if you can do everything only once. If you are doing, like, let's say, if you are finding the answer for one question 2 or 3 times because you missed the words, then you are wasting a lot of time. You are wasting a lot of time and you will not be able to finish everything in 1 hour. So that's what I would like to say. You have to do everything once, only once. It is best if you can do everything only once. But of course, like if you didn't get the answer, if you didn't understand what the passage is saying, maybe you can repeat 2 or 3 times, but no more than that. If you are like spending too much time on one question, you're just wasting your time and it's not good for you. And this one is what I said myself. Usually matching heading and matching information are hard. So what I tell myself is that I will do that thing the latest. I would do the passage in order, like reading passage 1, reading passage 2, reading passage 3. I would do that in order. But within the reading passage, what I would do is that if I find something difficult, I would just leave it like that. I would leave it and I would do it only at the end. Because if you're spending too much time on difficult tasks, that means you are wasting time and you won't be having enough time for the easier tests. So what happened is that because the test is difficult, you might not be able to get the correct answer. But at the same time, what happens is because you wasted too much time on those difficult tests, you didn't have enough time to easier tests, and then you lose marks for both difficult tests and easy ones. So what I suggest is that if you see the easy test, do the easier test first and then do the difficult test. All right. So matching paragraph and information, you do it at last. And then for this one, matching paragraph, matching heading, matching information, what you should do is that read the paragraph and then try to look at each and every answer and try to pick the best suitable answer. You try to ask yourself like, is this matching? Yes, no, or not sure. As like that, all right? So as I have mentioned, you have to read the instruction, you have to read the question, keywords, and in the passage, other than the references that I mentioned, you should look for synonyms, paraphrase, or the keywords. All right. synonym, paraphrase, the same meaning with completely different words. You should know these. You should look for these things. All right, another thing, having a clear mind is a very important thing for the ASEAN. You must have a clear mind, all right? You must not feel sleepy, you must not feel depressed, sad, or worried, or nervous. Just have a clear mind. And you must see words. And then when you search for an answer, read at a pace that will allow you to find keywords. What it means is that you don't need to read so slowly. You don't need to read so fast as well. Just read it at your own pace. That is good for you. And you have to understand the questions as well. All right. This is multiple choice, and I think it's also the same as matching information. Oh yeah, this is matching information. So it's the same as matching heading. You try to look at the options first, and then you read each and every paragraph carefully and try to choose the best answer possible. All right. Okay, I hope you get it.